to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Thfc Till I Die, your home Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. And the one word I am going to say that I haven't said for a while is g'day. G'day to everyone. Welcome. Another week upcoming, another game upcoming. Man City away on Sunday. Can we? Will we? Won't we? Can we? Did we? Lots of questions going to be asked. Can Ange get these players motivated? Will the players put in a performance? Of course they can, because we're Tottenham Hotspur and we're going to win on Sunday. Me living in my own little deluded world, so I'm convinced we can win. But anyway, hope you're all well. As we near the end of November and the start of December, where all the little kids get ready for Santa, all the husbands in the world getting ready for Mr. Santa, and all the wives in the world are getting ready for Mr. Santa. So there's lots of excitement happening. But how are we all? Hope we're all doing well. Let's see who's in the chat. We've got Corey Boy. Big up Corey Boy. He says, g'day all. G'day Corey. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you and the young lad are doing all right. We've got Tequila. Big up Tequila saying hello to Corey. This fella from THFC Till I Die. I don't know who he is. This fella keeps coming in all the time. You know, I should block him, actually, I think. We've got Tequila. Big up Dermo. Big up Tequila. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you're doing well. He says, loves me some Thanos. I tell you one thing. That intro mixes everything I love about what I'm into. Marvel, Tottenham, pushed together. And it's true. And Thanos is like, he's the man who's going to lead us to glory. Thanos will come down with his Infinity Gauntlet and just snap his fingers. And Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea would just disappear into the distance as Spurs go and win the league. So there you go. There we go. Hope we could do with some good, Tequila. Could do some good. We've got Wembley 1 afternoon, everyone. Levy out. It's starting already. Big up Wembley 1. We've got Tequila. Fullbacks FC are coming for you, homie. Maybe. Maybe not. You have to catch me first. We've got Dragon D Nuts. Big up Dragon D Nuts. G'day. G'day to you too, sir. And we've got Greg saying that afternoon, Dome. I hope you're well. Roll on January. The window cannot come soon enough. You are so true, Greg saying that. You're so true. The window cannot come true soon. We need a couple of centre-backs. We need a striker and a midfielder, I think. But look, I've got a bit of news for you today. And we're going to start with some breaking news, as I like to call it. Now, it was something that wasn't about to talk about today, and I didn't know not a lot about it, to I actually not that. It's about Man United. And there is reports this morning. Now, these are only reports, but I'm waiting to get it confirmed. But despite reports coming out that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is preparing a significant changes in the hierarchy of Man United once his 25% deal is announced, there are rumours, and they are strong rumours circulating the football world coming out, that he's getting increasingly frustrated with the Glazers and with how they are dealing with the partial takeover of the club. Pardon me. These rumours are that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is now thinking about potentially withdrawing his bid for 25% of Manchester United after weeks of delays, as the Glazers have said that there will be no announcement of his deal this week, possibly not next week either, leaving Sir Jim very little time to be able to make changes needed in the structure before the January transfer window. So, look, I want to start the first bit of the show on talking about the Premier League and football in general, and talking about how these owners that probably don't know a lot about football, don't know a lot about the English game, can come in, buy these football clubs, and think they have a right to dictate what they do and how to look. They own the club, so they have a right in the way. But Manchester United is one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we all look, if we're looking at it from a tribalism point of view, we're all laughing at United because we're Spurs and we want them not to do well. They're a rival. If you're looking at it from a football fan's point of view, this is one of the biggest clubs in England. And we've got owners in there. Now, we think we're bad with Levy. And Levy has made mistakes. Levy hasn't backed managers. We all know the shortcomings of Daniel Levy, what he's done good and what he hasn't done good. If you look at the Glazers, they're taking out dividends out the football club. Old Trafford is falling to pieces. They really haven't had, they've had success, but not like success they had under Sir Alex Ferguson. And United, for what I'm hearing, are in such financial trouble. They still owe out money on transfers. They cannot borrow any more from the bank, from what I'm hearing. And also, I think is it 3 years, Manchester United could be put into administration. This is one of the biggest clubs in the world. Probably was the richest club in the world. And they're on the brink of going into next 3 years of going into administration. It's because the Glazers do not care. It's the same with any owner of a club. And look, and I know Wembley one's going to come out, and this argument is, it's a fair argument. It says the Glazers have still spent money on their squad. Wembley one, yes, they have, but you have to. We as football fans, we just see one section of the football club. It's the win. It's the team on the pitch. We want to win trophies. We all do. I do. Everyone does. We all want the best for Tottenham Hotspur. We all want us to win trophies. Yeah, I get it. But running a football club and running a football club for me is about getting all your ducks in order, getting all your eggs in the right place. Old Trafford, in '96, Old Trafford was one of the biggest stadiums in the Premier League. It is now it's a state if you look at it. You got to put money in the infrastructure for the football side for it to gain more traction. The Glazers haven't put money into the infrastructure. Levy's put money into the infrastructure. As I say again, he hasn't put money into the team. I get that. I get we haven't been successful. I get we haven't won a trophy since 2008. I get that he hasn't backed managers. He should have backed Poch, but he didn't. I get that. But you also know that if you're going to run a football club, you've got to be financially sound. We're in no danger of going into administration. We're in no danger of, we could spend money like this coming out of tomorrow. Where's that going to lend us? Where's that going to? Yeah, we could have trophies coming out the trophy cabinet, but are we going to go back to where we were in the late '80s, early '90s with so many billions and billions in debt? Where does that get you? Nowhere. I get it. We haven't been successful. I understand that. And I'm frustrated, as most of you, that we haven't been successful. Me and Philip were talking about it yesterday. I was a teenager the last time we won the FA Cup. I am now 47 in February, and we haven't won the FA Cup since I was a teenager. I get we're frustrated. I get it. But if you look at other clubs, if you look at Manchester United, yeah, they've won trophies, but they haven't won many trophies as people think they have since Sir Alex left. But Old Trafford has fallen to pieces. The Glazers haven't used their own money. They've used borrowed money, which has put small debt onto the football club to a point where in 3 years, Manchester United could be going into administration. And this is one of the biggest clubs in the world. You look at Liverpool, American owners. Most teams in the Premier League are owned by foreign owners. Sheffield United are owned by Saudi Arabia. You wouldn't know they are, but they are. And I understand the frustration with Daniel Levy. I get it. I'm frustrated myself. But you've got to balance out the argument. You've got to look at both sides of the argument. You've got to look at both sides of the tree. And as Mia rightly says on many occasions, and I agree with her on this point, for a kick here or a kick there, we could have won a couple of League Cups. We could have won a League Championship. We could have won a European Cup if it went our way. And, you know, it's got to a point where you can blame Levy to a point. But if you look at other football clubs, you look at Manchester United, we're in a much healthier state than they are. They're in a much healthier state. We've got a manager at the club now that's changing the way Tottenham are. We've got a team playing the football we love to watch. Though we are on a run of 3 defeats in a row, the players are trying the hardest out there. We've got an injury list coming out of our hero. Same as Manchester United. We're going to get onto that tonight with Mia and Ash on the roundtable discussion. And we cannot keep banging this same drum of backhand or Levy out. We're under a new project. So, yeah, of course we got a backhand. But if you look at other clubs, we're not as bad. And look, as I said before, before somebody clips this and say Dermotron's Levy in, I'm not Levy out or Levy in. I'm down the middle. I will criticize him when he needs criticised, and I'm praising when he needs praising. And yes, we need to fulfill a couple of positions. We need another centre back. We need a midfielder. We need a striker, and we failed in that in the summer. We failed in getting in another centre back in the summer, and we failed at getting the striker to replace Harry Kane. But I'm sure we will rectify that either in January or next summer. But if you start looking at Manchester United, they're in a worse state financially, physically as a football club than we are. Let's see who's in. But good point, though, Wembley one. I get what you're pointing. Well, Colin has actually come back. He says, no, they haven't. All the money spent has been made from the club. No Glazer money. Daniela, big up Daniela. It says, good afternoon, Dermot. Good afternoon, Daniela. Hope you're doing well. We got Tequila said, LOL, you knew Colin would be there with both barrels you go, sir. Big up Tequila. Tequila's sitting back with his popcorn, right? And he's sitting there eating it, right, with like Carl Simpson with a white cat on his lap, thinking, ooh, what disturbances can I make today? He's like he's Blofeld's left lieutenant. That's what he is. We've got Colin. Every penny spent has been from earnings the season before. The Glazers haven't placed a single penny into the club, not even when they bought the club. Exactly. He also said, just winds me up when people say, but the Glazers have spent money. They haven't. We've got Wembley. Daniela says, afternoon, Dermot. As the date expires, I'm getting even more worried about City will do to us on Sunday. How are you feeling about it? What FA Cup games are you looking forward to this weekend? I'm going to go into that later in the roundtable discussion, actually, because it is the second round of the FA Cup. We will find this weekend the third round draw, which we will be broadcasting that live here. See who Spurs get in the FA Cup. Look, on Sunday, I'm quietly confident, you know. It would just be Tottenham to go out there and get a win. It would be, and I hate the word Spursy, but it'd be really Spursy of us to go up there and get a win. I think we can. I think we'll get a result up there. But big up Daniela, and don't worry. I'll look over the. If you tune in tonight at 9, I'll pick up a couple of games for the FA Cup second round, and what I might do a watch along to one of them. Let me know who Leighton Orient have got. If they're on telly, I'll do a Leighton Orient FA Cup watch along. Because I know you're a massive Orient fan. Greg Senna, if you look at our trajectory compared to United since the early 1920s, on balance, I'd much rather be us than them. Even without a few trophies they've collected since. Exactly, and that's the point I'm making. You look at the levels of where United were before Fergie left to where they are now, and to what the different. We've completely surpassed United on so many different levels. I get it. We're frustrated with no trophies. I get that. But as Mia rightly says, a kick here and a kick there. You cannot blame Daniel Levy for a player missing a penalty. Players go onto the pitch. It's their responsibility to score in that game. It's their responsibility to put in a performance to win us that trophy. It's the manager's job to organise the team, tactics. You can't blame everything on Levy. You can't blame him. He gives the manager the money. The manager tells him who to buy. He buys the players the manager wants. It's his job then to get that into a team that can be successful. And we have been in positions where we have nearly been successful. We've gone there with Poch time and time again. We've got to 2 League Cup finals. We got to a Champions League final. We could have won the league. And yeah, you could say Levy could have spent a bit more for a player here or a player there. But it's down to Poch at the time, whoever's in charge, to put them players together to make it into a winning side. You look at Terry Venables when he won the FA Cup. He took over in 1987. He didn't win a trophy until 1991. It took him time to get the side ready. You know, and on the Terry Venables, we could have done well. It's all up. Football's. It's 50%. I think with football, it's 70% of the club putting or 80% the club putting the right places in place, and 20% luck. You're going to need luck to win these games. You're going to need luck to win an FA Cup, or to win a League Cup, or to win a Champions League. You're going to have a bit of luck to win the league, even. And I just feel we haven't had the rub of the green. There was times we should look under Harry Redknapp. We should have beaten Portsmouth in the FA Cup semi-final. The day we lost to Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, we played Sonny left wing back. You look at the Champions League final. Instead of playing Lucas Moura up front, he plays Harry Kane. These are mistakes that the manager's made. And when the players go on there, they don't put into the performances. How many times have we watched Tottenham in the past? Big players turn up for big games. Big players drag you over the line, even if you're playing badly. How many times did Jimmy Greaves get us out of a hole in the 60s or the 60s? How many times did Martin Shivers? He won us the League Cup against Aston Villa in 1971. We were awful. Villa should have won that game. Martin Shivers stood up. He was a big name player, stood up and got 2 goals that day to win us the League Cup. And then against Norwich 2 years later, Norwich should have won that game. But Ralph Coates, we won it because big players turned up. And we cannot keep barking up the same tree. I understand Angie's got a job to do. I understand that we haven't got the players, and we understand it's going to take time. It's a project. I understand people are not going to be, I haven't got the patience for another project, but we do have to wait, because you can't keep blagging a dead horse all the time. You look at United. Oh yeah, they've won trophies, but what state are they in? They're in the state of 3 years going into administration. They can't borrow anything from the bank. They still owe money to clubs around the world. And you cannot keep slagging that dead horse. Yes, we all know Daniel Levy isn't the most perfect chairman in the world. We all get that. We know that. We know he hasn't backed managers. We know he should have backed Poch at a certain time to revitalize the squad. We know the likes of Eric Dyer, Ben Davis, all them players have have had players that are not good enough to play for Tottenham. We get that. We get that. We get there's mistakes made. We get there's managers he should have picked, he shouldn't have picked. We get that. But I'm getting fed up to the back teeth of hearing everything is Levy's fault when some of the times the players and the managers have to take responsibility for their actions. You have to take responsibility for the mistakes they made. And players have made plenty, and players have not turned up for big games. It's all about everyone doing their jobs. And that is what it is. That is why certain teams have been so successful over the years. You can say Man City have the money to buy any player in the world. But you know full well that between the owners, down to the director of football, down to the technical director, down to the coaches, down to the manager, they're all connected, all know what everyone's doing. There was a line of communications from the manager to the football director of football. I want this player. I want that player. Right, we get you this player. It's down to you now, Pep, to put this team together. And Pep can put a team together and he's been successful. Yes, they've spent money, but they haven't spent as much money as a lot of people think they have. And you've got to somehow realize you can't keep. You look at all the most successful teams in the world. You go back to the 70s or 80s, the Liverpool sides. You go back to Nottingham Forest. You go back to Aston Villa. You go back to the Arsenal sides, to Jose Mourinho's successful Chelsea side. All their managers, they all have a reputation of being big spenders. They're not big spenders. They buy the right players for the right position to fulfill that job, what they need that player to do. And you cannot. With United, they have spent and spent and spent. I watched United last night. If I was a United fan, I'd be pulling my hair out. They sold De Gea, who was a decent keeper, who was very steady, who Alex Ferguson bought, by the way, who was very reliable, never made a mistake, occasionally made the odd cock up. To the keeper they've got now, who floundered a ball in the back of the net last night. If you look between Tottenham and Man United, Tottenham looked the more stable side. They looked the more successful side. They look like the team's going to be more successful. United are going to be in mid-table if they're not lucky, because the Glazers don't care about Manchester United. I'm sure Daniel Levy does care about Tottenham. Deep down, I'm sure his heart, he may not get everything right at Spurs, but I think his heart's in the right place. But he has made mistakes and he's owned up to them mistakes. And we can't keep making the same mistakes. We've got Ange in now. Let's back Ange with the players that Ange wants. And get rid of the Deadwood, get rid of the Ben Davies, get rid of the Eric Dyer, get rid of the Don Belles. Unless they'll put them out on loan, either cancel the contracts or get rid of them. And start bringing the youth players in. Do what we did in the 80s. Mix it with experience and youth. And we need to do that. But I'm just so frustrated with... We lost 3 games in a row. We've got an injury crisis that we've never seen for a long time. And I'm hearing people saying Ange out. And then they'll all let Levy out. Or if we don't back Ange, it's Levy. We don't know what's going to happen in January. Look, I'm probably get slagged off for this by certain people, and I don't care. It's my opinion. It's how I think. It's how I feel. And as I said, if Levy's done well, I will praise him. Me and Philip have both said that all the way along. If he hasn't done well, we'll criticize him. If he's done well, we'll praise him. And at the moment, he backed down with some of the players that have done well. You look at Mickey van der Ven, James Maddison. You look at Solomon. You look at the players that Ange has brought in already. He's turned Tottenham around quicker than he turned Celtic around. And I saw a lot of Ange up at Celtic. I'm fully confident this man will bring us to glory. The FA, we could win the FA Cup this year. I don't know if we will or not. It depends on the draw. And as I said, football is down to luck. 80% or 85% is down to get your team ready, tactics done. The rest of it's luck. If you're going to have luck, to get you through. We had luck in 91 winning the FA Cup. It was the Gaza brought us to that final. So, look, let's see what happens. Let's see who else is in the chat. I'm sorry for my ranting, but I'm just getting so pissed off with this all. We've got the killer just sitting back and watching the fireworks. Keep going, mate, he says. Colin. We've got big up to Mia as well with the clap in the hands. Big up, Mia. Please, everyone get over to Spurs Between the Lines. And a great channel, a lovely lady. She's on with me tonight, of course, for her and Ash at 9 o'clock for the roundtable discussion. So please, everyone, come over for that. But big up to Mia as well. We've got Tequila saying, I think I'm recording a podcast. All right, you're talking to Mia. We've got hello, Tequila. DNA says, Orient got Chesterfield away. We should win. I don't think it's on TV, though, but another one on the Orient game day is. Okay, well, let me know, Daniela. I'll see what I can do. We've got LOL Son at left back, still better than Davis, though, probably right. We have, what else we've got? We've got Matthew as well. Big up Matthew as well. By the way, so who's your footballing idol? Oh, my footballing, I got two. One of them is Mickey Hazard of Tottenham. Yeah, it's Mickey Hazard of Spurs, and also, if I'm looking at a world football, have to be Maradona. Andy Booth. Oh, got to get me Daniel Ginolo. I think more or less made of Spurs fan when my City family wanted me to support Arsenal. Exactly. We've got Matthew Tequila. My Spurs player would say be Jermaine Defoe and genuinely Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, God, that 07-08 season, I become a fan. That's the season of him. Some things he had one, it's just unbelievable. That is true. Tequila says, I'm always Levy out, but Angie's totally crazy to me, Domo. Yeah. Ange is here. People who are saying he should be sacked are brain dead. Exactly. I agree with you. Tequila said, please go and subscribe to Just a Girl Love Spurs. Tequila's put that in. Fair enough. I'll put it in and I mention it. So everyone, please go and support girls who love Spurs. And also, please, and Spurs Between Lines as well. Tequila is now to start to spam the chat. Cheers, Tequila. And then we've got mine. I said Jermaine Defoe and Cristiano Ronaldo. We've got Nathan here with the super chat. Big up, Nathan. Thank you so much in those. Hey guys, joining after a few months. I had a very serious injury. Happy to be listening to you guys again. We'll be regular again. Well, listen, man. I hope you're grand. Listen, for me and Philip and everyone here at Thfc till I die. I hope you're feeling better. And also the Full-Time Sports Network. I'm joking, Mia. So don't lose the rag. I was joking. I don't mind you putting it in. Don't mind putting it in, okay? Joking. Oh, Lord, can't have a joke and people take it the wrong way. But big up anyway. I don't mind you putting me in. And Kate's in as well. Put them in. It's fine, Tequila. No problem. I was joking. Oh, very funny. I'll have a word with me later. But big up, Nathan. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I hope you're feeling better. And listen, I hope you're all right, man. I hope you're all right. A lot of people sending Nathan love. Big up, though. Really appreciate the support. Also, and please, if you do want to support the channel, please hit the memberships from $1.99 to $4.99. If you can, also please do a super chat like Nathan. I know times are tough out there. I know the interest rates are up. We've got Christmas coming up. I get that, but every little thing helps. And also, if you want to hit the like button and share it, please. So thank you. Yeah, Tequila was joking. You're fine. Honestly, you're grand. You're grand. Go on. You can do it. You can put them in the game. I don't mind at all. I'll help anyone out. Mia knows that. So big up, Tequila. And listen, you're a good mod as well. You're the top mod. You and Mia are my top mods. Mod A and Mod B. And we've got Dragon D Nuts. I love that name. Troublemaker. Right. Well, let's carry on with the show. That's the United and my rant over United. Now, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham have been handing a fresh update. This is going to be another rant, by the way. Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham have been handed a fresh update regarding when Manchester City could be punished for allegedly breaching financial regs between 2009 and 2018. City were charged by the Premier League back in February for allegedly breaching FFP rules and to not have acted in the utmost good faith after taking nearly 10 months to come to a conclusion for Everton's case, just a single charge, by the way, resulting in a 10-point deduction. Now, what I'm hearing is Everton could be appealing that, but the teams that got relegated yesterday last season, and there's one more team I can't remember, want to sue Everton, which could send Everton into administration, which would be a further 9 points deduction. So, Mia, look, it's fine. I was joking. It's fine. I wasn't having a go. I don't know. Forget it. You're fine. But what you want, chat? I don't care. So 10 months to come to a conclusion over that. So the Premier League, but deduction after breaching the Premier League's profit and then some stability rules, PRSRS, by 20 million, the chances of City's investigation coming to an end anytime soon looks unlikely. According to the Daily Mail, and I've had this confirmed as well, the Premier League and City have now agreed a date at which they will face off in the front of an independent panel. Both parties could present their evidence in the front of the panel in late autumn 2024, nearly 12 months away. Look, what do you guys think? Put what you think of this in the chat, right? Look, we got to wait now to 2024 for this to be heard in front of a panel. Is this too long for you? For me, it is. For me, this is shocking. The Premier League should have dealt with this already. If Manchester City don't want to help with their investigation, well, with the proof they've got, bring it up to them and say, right, this is the proof we've got. Can you tell us yes or no? If say, well, we don't want to, we're going to drag this out. Well, then fine, charge them. Because this is ridiculous. You've got Everton, who only did one charge. And Manchester City, because they're Man City, are just dragging this out. We've got to wait till next autumn. I bet you any money they charged Tottenham before this, for the charge Manchester City. And that's what's really pissing me off. Because they will not attack the big dog. They will not attack the biggest draw in the Premier League. Well, these are the teams that need to be making an example of. They should be making an example of Manchester City. You cannot break the rules just because you think you can. Just because you're Manchester City, just because you've got a state ownership, doesn't give you the right to flaunt the rules, to break the rules. If you broke the rules, you're guilty, you get charged, you get punished. You accept your punishment, you move on. But the FA, the Premier League will not touch Manchester City. They won't touch Liverpool. They won't touch Chelsea. But if it's Tottenham or Everton, oh yeah, let's flog them. This is where it's so wrong. This is where it's so anti. This is where the anti-Tottenham bit comes in. And I get it. They've been going for years about this Man City thing. Well, if got the proof, charge them. Why wait till autumn? Get it done now. Like the Chelsea thing, how long do we have to wait for the Premier League to grow a pair of balls to bring these bigger clubs to book? Did they take 10 points of Manchester of Everton, which I think was very harsh. 10 points, by the way. You cannot. It's like say for example. Sorry, I'm using this as an example, Mia. But if you and me went to rob a bank, Mia, right, with Tequila, right, and Tequila was the getaway man, and me and Mia robbed the bank, and we all get caught. It's like Tequila saying Tequila and Mia saying, "Oh, hang on a minute, we're going to drag this out," and they say, "Right, okay, Dermatron, we're going to send you away for 5 years." But Tequila and Mia keep appealing it. Something's got to change. We cannot keep going on like this. The Premier League has to change. The Premier League have to grow a pair of balls and actually say to Man City, I don't care. who you are, what size you are, what money you got behind you. You broke the rules, you charge, you face, if you're guilty, you get punished, you take it. This has got to stop. You cannot keep picking on. You can't just say, just because they're the poster boys of the Premier League, we can't touch them. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. We've got Nathan here. Big up for the super chat as well. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. Expectations for January transfer window. Okay, Dragon D Nuts, you can come as well. You can be the mastermind behind it, but we won't get you done. I want a centre back. I want a centre back and a striker. That's what I want. I know what I'm hearing. We're going to get striker. I know that. But for a centre back, hang on, I'm just getting. Oh, hang on. I'm just right. It's actually 2025, the earliest date. I'm also getting about a bit of breaking news here, guys. Just let me read these. Right, English. Let's see if I can just want to ask the question before I just ask another question before I can tell you what I've got. Look, big centre back and a striker for me. That's for me. That's who I want. I'm sure the guys in the chat will have their own ideas of who they want in January. I know Mia's right about Højbjerg. Look, I think Mia could be on the ball about Højbjerg, to be fair. I've been doing a lot of thinking about this the last couple of days, and maybe Mia's more on the ball in this Højbjerg thing than I think I am. Just to give her a little bit of a plug there, but I think we need an upgrade in every department of the squad. I think we need another centre back, definitely another midfielder, because we are losing 2 midfielders. In for the African Nations Cup, so we need cover there, and also we need a striker. We never replace Harry Kane. We've got Dragon D Nuts, Mia. A lot of going on recently. Still been around. Just don't commit as much. Well, big up to. Then we've got big up Nathan as well for the super chat. Thank you so much. We've got Nathan. FA won't touch Liberal City. No, they won't, because this just is so wrong. Matthew says, no wonder why Dermot is the rated R superstar. He's finding and breaking everything about City. Who else we've got coming in? We've got Nathan. How many FA breaches have City committed? I think it's 115 breaches, I think. We got that says Dermatron, stop being unreasonable. Think of the poor lawyers who need to charge City for a year or do work so they can support their children. I didn't think of it that way, but to be fair, I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, okay. Think of the children. That's it. Just think of the children. Damn right. Lock Derma up and throw away the key. Me and Tequila can go just see Jaffa Cakes. Mia, let you know, Jaffa Cakes have been picked up. Philip let me know last night. The Jaffa Cakes are safe and well. Why was I invited on this bank robbery? You're the getaway driver. We've got the killer be able to buy all the Jaffa Cakes I want after this heist. Me, you be out customer. Big up. We've got I'd be the driver. Oh God, there's actually now competition for you can be the backup driver, Matthew. God. DJ Samuel, big up DJ Samuel. It says favorite Christmas song, Dermot. Favorite Christmas song. Fairy Tale of New York and the one by Slade. No, I do not like Shaking Stevens. Just because my mother bought me a big thing of it when I was small. Anyway, yeah. Fairy Tale of New York and Merry Christmas, everyone. The one by Slade. I love Slade's one. You can join me, mate, Dragon D Nuts. Yeah, as a co-driver. We've got Brian Daigle. I haven't seen you for a long while, Mr. Daigle. Hope you're doing well. It says, big up, everyone. Hope all is well. At Tequila 316, my brother. How are you? Big up, Brian. Nice to see you in the chat. So I haven't seen you for a while. Hope you and the family, everyone is doing right. So nice to see you. We've got Nathan. Now that Rich Newcastle can sign players from Saudi, has been a fair. I tell you one thing. I think Newcastle have actually they haven't splashed the cash I thought they would, to be fair to them. I think they've been a bit clever in how they're doing it. They've been very sensible. So yeah. look, I understand what you're saying there for Newcastle, but Newcastle haven't went out and just splashed it. I think Newcastle have been very sensible about it, trying to get the infrastructure right and then back the manager with the players he wants, which is what we got to do in the January and next summer. Isn't just about January. We also got to look ahead to next summer. And I think the team that we're getting in now, behind with Paratici, with the people we're bringing in to get the players in, I think it will work. I think they're already working now towards January. And I think that between now and the summer, we have to have our targets in place. Even if we get a few players on pre-contracts in January that they sign in the summer, I think I'll be happy with that as well. We need to get a centre back in. We need to get a striker in January, though it is hard to get players in, but it's not as hard as people think it is. But if we get a few players in the last 6 months of the contract, sign them up for next summer or make an offer to the club they can't refuse, then yeah, that's fine. But I think we've got to be looking ahead for January and the summer, which I think we are going to do. We've got nothing. It all makes sense now. Martial to Spurs, January 20 million. You've heard it here first. I've been hearing that as well, actually, Colin. I actually have been hearing that as well. So, Tequila, nice seeing you, Mr. Dago. Sir, loved your rant the other day. Pure passion, my man. Hope you're well at Brian Dago. Asian Cup, African Nations Cup. And this is where we're going to be laid bare. I think we're going to be laid very bare in January. I think this is where the window comes in so important in January, that we need to have our ducks in order. We need to have in order for us who we're going to buy, who we're going to get in. Look, I know we've got Bentancur there. We've got Højbjerg, who have played together. Look, I understand your argument that Højbjerg doesn't play Ange ball. I get that. But I think till we can get a replacement in for him, I think we're going to have to use him. Bentancur's out to February, so that's another player we're missing. You got Skippy as well. Do you know, I don't think Skippy, I think Skippy's had his time. It hurts me to say that, but I think he has. And of course, Sonny going to the Asian Cup. Do you know, we got Richarlison coming back on the 15th. Solomon's now could be back before Christmas as well, for what I'm hearing. So we've got two players back. We've got Romero, we've got Basuma and Sarr back. We've got Romero back for the game after Man City. We've got Basuma and Sarr back, hopefully, for Sunday. So hopefully by January, we should be back to full fitness again. But it's important who we buy. And it's the same when we bought Bentancur and Kulu. That first January window under Conte. That took us to top four. That had such a big influence on our season. And I think it can happen again. I think if we get the two players in, that can change the season. I know a lot of people can say, but it's always last chance, last day. Hopefully now we've learned our lessons that we get these in early. And this is the problem. We have to get them in early. We can't be waiting to the last day of the window. I understand some clubs drag it out, and we just got to go in with a proper bid. A proper bid to say to the club, we're serious about this player. Here's the money. Let's get them. From what I'm hearing, we might have to sell before we buy. That's one rumor I'm hearing. There isn't a lot of money for January. We have to see what happens. Rarely do. We've got Tequila. We're laced and whatever I want now. Hold me over it. It's over me. Is Martial better than Richie? Seriously, questions. What do you guys think? Look, for me, Richarlison, I've always said it, Richarlison was a big fish in a small pool at Everton. So everything was built around him. Everything was around Richarlison. I think when he came to Tottenham, it was a bigger leap for him in the Premier League. And I think he's been unlucky. I think he hasn't had the run of games that it could have to settle down. I just think it hasn't worked for him. Players can move to clubs and it doesn't work for whatever reason. I think Martial would do a better job than Richarlison. I've always liked him, Martial. Always have. So look, if Ange has turned around and said, right, I want Martial, that's Ange picking that play. Look, we also got Jota as well as a free agent. I think that's a player we can get in. Oh, I've seen a lot up at Celtic. I think he's a fantastic player. So yeah, I'm gonna say Martial's better than Richie. A lot of people won't actually probably agree with me on that, but I do. Genuinely think Martial's a better player than Richie. I just think Richie is a small fish in a big pool now, and I think if he went to a club not as big as Tottenham, I think he would do better. I think he was brilliant at Everton. He kept them up because he was the bigger player there. Every team was sort of built around him, where at Tottenham it's not. So we have to say, and I don't think he's had the luck either, actually, with Charles. He's been very unlucky. The goal against Nottingham Forest last season when it wasn't offside, and I just feel he's just been so unlucky. We've got Brian who says, Tequila, I'm fantastic, brother. Thanks for the kind words on the rant. There will be many more coming. As always, leave you up. Big up, Brian. Hope you're doing well. We've got Mia should be live here. Mia's been very busy today, to be fair, and she has helped me out quite a lot since Philip's been away. And Mia's on tonight with me as well. But everyone, please get over to Spurs Between the Lines. It's a great little channel. As me and Mia march on also the Full-Time Sports Network. March to 2K for me and Mia and 1,000 for Full-Time Sports Network. And please show support. Mia is a great person. She speaks a lot of sense on a lot of topics. She really is one of the nicest people in the community. It's someone I've got a great time for. Someone I speak to quite regularly behind the scenes as well. Always willing to help, always willing to do anything for you if you ask. And please, everyone, show her a lot of respect. She really does. Please, everyone, get over to Spurs Between the Lines because it is a great channel. I've got an awful lot of respect and time for Mia. Though we do differ on Højbjerg and a lot of things, but I love doing shows for Mia. It can either go sideways, downways, which way but loose. But it's you always have a good laugh from Mia. So big up to Mia, and I hope you're doing well. Looking forward to tonight's show as well. Forever always, mate, says Tequila. Nathan said, my favorite Christmas song is Ozzy's Going to Wembley. I don't know how you could claim that as a Christmas song, but I'll take it. Oh, damn. I'd hear the church and all the celebration has started for Christmas. That's one thing that really bugs me, right? The start the Christmas adverts in the middle of November. I can't get that. Don't mind the start at the 1st of December. That's fair enough. But in the middle of fucking this November, before Halloween, the first Christmas adverts come on. Come on, guys. Give us a break. Nathan said Newcastle and Saudi owners are the same. Yeah, they are the same, to be fair. Saudi Arabia actually owns Sheffield United, believe it or not, which totally shocked me the other week. I found that out. Nathan says, Sonny Basuma, Sonny or go in the R. Tequila says, Skip has fallen very far down the pecking order. Can't see him wanting to stay after this year. No, I don't think he will. He's the reason. Wembley once says, but Dermot, when has Levy ever gone in with the series January bid? Tossard, Grealish, etc. Yeah, I've said it. He's made mistakes. Wembley one. I'm not stating that he hasn't. I haven't stated also he's. Look, I agree he's made mistakes. I agree he hasn't done things right. But I think, look, I don't want to get involved with the Levy out thing, and it's not what I want to talk about because I understand he's the face. He's Tottenham, right? I understand that, but I don't want to get dragged into what he done in the past. What's happened in the past is in the past. You move on. We can keep talking about the mistakes he's made, but what's the point? Because you just keep giving yourself a sore neck. You keep giving yourself a headache. You give yourself a migraine. He hasn't got these players because he made mistakes. We get that. But look at the players he's bought in this summer. Let's look at Mickey van der Ven, James Maddison. You look at the players he's building. You look at what Angie's building. Let's look at the positive. Let's see what Levy will do in January. Let's see what Levy will do next summer. We all know he's made mistakes. We all know he hasn't bought in players that he should have done. We all know he's haggled over places like he should have done. We all know that. There's nothing we can do about it. There is nothing we can do about it instead of holding it against him. But I've got to the point now where, look, I just can't keep going on about the past. It's happened. It's happened. We move on. We see what happens. We look now. We look what he did in the summer, which was pretty good. It wasn't brilliant. It was a good 8.5 out of 10 for me. Let's see if he matches it in January and matches it next summer, and then we can take stock then. Ange's the man in charge. We can get a Trossard's playing for Arsenal. Grealish playing for Man City. There's nothing we can do about it. He didn't bid right for them. He didn't get the players. They've moved on. I think we all have to move on as well and look at what's happening now, not what happened 10 years ago. Because if you keep going back, you're looking at the mistakes he's made, and that's sort of, you could keep, them mistakes are always going to be there. We're always going to have that in the back, that he's cocked up, that he hasn't backed managers. We know that. We all know that. I'm sick to death of hearing it because we know it's there. But we just got to see what he does now. And if he does back Ange, then brilliant, he's backed Ange. If he hasn't, then we'll complain. As I've always said, if he's done wrong, we'll criticize him. If he's done right, we'll praise him. I'm not going in one side or the other. I'm straight down the middle. Because I think if you go one side, you sort of lose the argument of the other side. And I always try to be balanced with this. And look, as I've always said, you need luck. You need a striker luck to win these things. And where we should have been lucky, we haven't. And that's down to combinations of different things. So we just have to see how January works out. We'll see what the end of January. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree with that, but I'm waiting to the end of January. And then we'll take stock where we are at the end of next season. Ange has changed Tottenham so quickly in a short space of time. He's done it quicker than he did at Celtic. And he's brought in players that can play our back five when it's all fit. It's a completely different back five to what we had last season. And we can see the shortcomings now with them being out, with them being with the likes of Dyer or Davis in the thing. We know they're not good enough. We know we need backups for Cristiano Romero and Mickey van der Ven. We know that. We know we need backups for Porro and Destiny. We know that. But we see what happens in, you cannot build a side so quickly to think we want instant success. It doesn't work like that. I understand we're all frustrated. I'm frustrated too. Said last time we won an FA Cup. I was a teenager. And I'm 47 in February. I'm frustrated as most of you, but I'm not going to get into a massive rant about it because there's not a lot I can do about it. I just voice my frustration on my shows when we do one with Philip. We talk about it, we discuss it, and we see what conclusion we can come for it, and we move on. We see what happens at the end of January. January is important. We all know this. We all know we need a centre back. We all know we need a striker. We don't know what the club are doing in the background at the moment. For all we know, they could have a couple of players lined up. Couple of players lined up for a loan to buy, or a couple of players up that we're going to sign on a pre-contract deal. But for saying players that we could have got this player, we could have got that player, there's not a lot we can do about it now. We've missed out on them. We didn't pay the money. We went in every which way we shouldn't have done. They've gone to other clubs and we move on. But we know there's mistakes there. We know he's made mistakes. We know he's cocked up. We know he hasn't made the right decisions. We know he took control where he shouldn't have taken control. We know he should have stepped back when he should have stepped back when he hasn't stepped back. But there's not a lot we can do about it. You look at Manchester United. We're in a far better state than what Man United are. And I know people are going to say, oh, they won trophies. Yeah, we would have loved to win trophies, but we did get the finals. We did get the semi-finals. We did get to a Champions League final. But mistakes were made. Players didn't turn up. You can't blame Levy for that. You can blame Levy for a lot of things, but you can't blame Levy for the 11 players on that pitch who didn't perform in that final or semi-final to get us to a major league or win us the league. There's times that a chairman does come in when he has to buy the right player at the right time, or if a manager wants a player and he doesn't get the player. I get that. But if you're in a final and them 11 players cross that line, there's nothing you, me, the man in the moon, or Santa Claus can do about it, because it's down to them 11 individuals to put on performance to win you that trophy. And if they make individual mistakes, that's not down to the manager. It's not down to us, the fans. It's not down to the owners or the chairman. It's down to that player who made that individual mistake because he wasn't good enough, or he didn't step up for that final. And this is the thing that really bugs me, because there is times we could have won stuff. The Champions League final, everyone, a man and his dog, would have known to start Lucas Moura for that final instead of an unfit Harry Kane. But Poch picked an unfit Harry Kane, which was detrimental to the team. VAR went against us. You can't blame that on everything on Levy. I understand he's made mistakes, but you cannot blame him. He hasn't gone for plays. He didn't put the money in. Okay, fair enough. We didn't get the players. We can't do nothing about it. It's like beating a dead horse. And I'm sick to death of it. I'm sick to death of hearing the same arguments again and again and again, because you cannot keep winning on the same argument. You have to see what he does in January. You have to see what he does with Ange. This is a new project. The football's better. The culture of the football club's changing. We're not playing this defensive counter-attacking football. We're playing attacking Tottenham football. We've had 3 defeats in a row. The Chelsea game, we lost 2 players sent off, which should have been sent off, to be fair, my opinion. And we lost Van der Ven to a hamstring injury. We've got, I think, what was it? I think it's 8 or 9 or 10 players out injured. United have an injury list off the scale. I'm sure their fans are going mad. The fans went mad last night. We've got to back Ange. We've got to keep supporting Ange. We've got to keep supporting the team. We've got to back the boys. Back them full away. But this argument that everything is Levy's fault, I think I understand why people say it. I understand people are frustrated. We're all frustrated. But you cannot blame him for 11 players on the pitch that didn't perform, that didn't turn up to that final to win us that trophy. We lost to Man United on a penalty kick. The Champions League final, we should have started Lucas Moura instead of Harry Kane. VAR went against us. The year we finished 3rd in a 2-legged race, it was some of them, we could have backed players in January. Yeah, we could have done. Did Poch make mistakes? Of course he did. Did the players make mistakes? Of course they did. It's a collective thing. Everyone makes mistakes. It's learning from their mistakes. And Levy hasn't learned from their mistakes. Maybe he's learning now from their mistakes. But if somebody said to me at the start of this season, you lose Harry Kane, but you're 4 points off the top in 5th place, I would have taken that hands down. And we're playing a Man City side on Sunday that is very dodgy at the moment. Their defense is leaky as hell. And if we get it right on Sunday, we could spring a surprise. We really could. We've got Nathan Jota. Yeah, I would love Jota in. Really would. I've got another super chat as well. Sorry. To Nithan. It says, Dear Santa, give me a fit squad cord. That's all we want, isn't it? That's all we want. It's all we want. Big up to Nathan as well. Thank you so much for the support today, Nathan. It's so appreciated. Rarely is appreciated. We've got Marshall is Mars better than Richie. I agree with you, Ronnie. I think he is. Tequila says Richie seems very injury prone as well, or just really unlucky. I think it's a bit of both, Tequila. I think it is. We've got DJ Sam. What about Santander Gemez from final? I've heard that they are looking at him. I have heard that. So I'll let you know. I've asked the questions. This is why shopping in South America makes sense, because the season ends in December. Mid-season deals are hard to get over the line. They are very, very hard. Very, very hard. Tequila's. We've got Tequila. Mia versus Dermo Hoybia boxing match. That never ends. No, I have to say, I understand where Mia's coming from. I do understand where Mia's coming from. I do get her points very, very much, but it's just I love Hoybia, but I do get her points. Saudi bought the wrong United. They thought it was Manchester United. Yeah, that's true. David Clark, big up, David. Hope everything is well for you. And how is sunny Leicester? Sorry, I can't disagree with you about. I can't disagree with you about Richarlison. Like you, I have seen tens of thousands of players at the highest level, and he's been the top level since to prove himself, and has failed. Me and David agree. Whoever thought it? Hallelujah! It's Christmas. We've agreed on something, David. It's true, David. Though it's very true. Yeah, please go over to Full-Time Sports Network as well, please, our partner channel. Big up to everyone, lads over there. Bobby and Colin, two of the nicest lads on YouTube, really are lovely. Regarding the Skip, some Spurs fans are hypocrites. 1 minute they're saying Skip is the future Spurs captain, then Spurs by a couple of top midfielders, and now they say he's a hard carrier and should go. I think he's dropping down, David, that I think he needs to go for his own career. I do agree with you. I look, we all want Skippy to do well. He's a homegrown player. He's a homegrown boy, but I think his time has come. And he says Martial would be a waste of money. He's yet another player with serious talent, but without a serious attitude to better themselves throughout his career, we can buy better at the same price. We could do, but the question to you, David, is would Ange get something more out of him? Do you think Ange would get something out of Martial where Ten Hag hasn't? I think he would. I honestly think he would. We've got agreed and Mads is injured as well. Yeah, exactly. David Clark. So Martial is a better than a total failure than Richarlison. What recommendation is that to buy a player? See, I know, but the question I'm asking you, David, is: do you think Ange Postecoglou will get more out of Martial than Ten Hag is, or any other previous Man United did since Fergie bought him? Do you think Ange can get more out of him? Levy doesn't come across as very humble to me, though, Dermo. Not sure he's learnt that many lessons. Look, everyone's entitled to be arrogant with the money he's got. Everyone, it is. I think it's an arrogance that. I think it's an arrogance that he thinks he's right all the time, and he's not. And I think it takes a long time for him, especially Daniel Levy, to realize of the mistakes he made, of the cock-ups he's made, of the bad judgment calls he's made, of the bad managers he's picked, not going for players. But I do feel with Ange, he's found somebody that this could prove the right call for him. This was the last call for him for me. This was so important, getting this manager right. And I think with Ange, we fell on our feet. I think you're supplying with the right players. A new golden age of Tottenham could be on the horizon. I really do believe that. Really do believe that. And the kid says, hell is frozen over if David and Dermo agree. That's so true. That's so true. But listen, I am going to leave it there. It's not the show I thought it was going to be. It's been more of a rant show for me than anything. So I do apologize for that. But we are back on at 9 with the roundtable discussion. Of course, Colin would be joining us, but he's not very well at the moment. So Colin, get well soon, sir. He will be looking after the chat tonight. We've got Ash from Southview Coys as well coming on, and we've also got Mia, of course, the legend that is Mia from Spurs Between the Lines. So whatever you're doing, please enjoy yourself for the rest of the day. Take care. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange, we trust.